Have you ever been told to just rest your back and avoid lifting? It sounds like good advice, but honestly, that type of thinking can keep you in pain longer than necessary. Today, I'm sharing why working out with low back pain is not only possible, but it's actually essential, and exactly how to do it. Hey, I'm Dr. K. Welcome back to my channel. I specialize in helping women get out of pain and getting back into lifting so they can feel like a badass again. If you've been feeling sidelined by low back pain and that you can never lift again, I'm here to reassure you that there is a way through this. You don't have to stop lifting and you don't have to be afraid of your MRI results. So let's talk about it. So whenever a woman comes to me and tells me that they were told to just stop lifting and that's how they're gonna get over their back pain, it really frustrates me because lifting is not only part of being healthy and all that, but for women, it's a way to feel in control, in power, and also super capable, not only in the gym, but in the whole rest of our lives. So for someone just to say to stop doing that is not a good answer. And also not only emotionally, but actually physically and clinically, if you avoid something for a long time because you think it's gonna make you worse, your body adapts to that, you not doing the thing. So then when you go back to doing the thing, your body is not used to it. It sees it as a threat, and that can actually increase your pain more, even though you've already rested. This is called the fear avoidance cycle, and it's really common if you stop doing something for a while and then you pick it up right back where you left off. Your body's like, bitch, and it throws a pain response to get you to calm down. So it's really a thing, and it can get worse if you rest a really long time. And then a third layer to this problem is when we bring in MRI results. So anytime a doctor orders an image, an x-ray, an MRI, anything like that, it's likely going to show some sort of deviation from a perfect looking spine. And the problem with this is that probably everybody has some deviations to what a perfect looking spine is supposed to look like. The only difference is some people can have a spine that looks imperfect and have no pain, and other people can have a spine that looks beautiful, but they do have pain. So just because your image says one thing, like for example, a herniated disc or a bulge disc, doesn't mean that you're screwed. And it definitely doesn't mean that that cannot be cured over time. I've seen clients who are really terrified of lifting because their image shows something in particular, but that image was a snapshot in time. You weren't moving really when they were taking the picture, and it doesn't always correlate to pain. But if you have that thought in your head that your spine doesn't look too good, especially if your provider said, oh, this is the worst looking spine that I've seen, anything like that, it can create this fear and again, bring out some pain in your body when you go to do things that you think are scary or that are gonna damage your back, AKA lifting. So all these things contribute to why people say to just rest, but it's not the answer, and it's really not gonna do you any favors in the long run. So here are some strategies to fix it and get back to lifting. So number one, exercise is actually the best way to get out of low back pain. For example, just going on a long walk in the day is something that can really help calm back pain over time. And yes, it's not lifting a barbell, but it's moving in general. So that's just going to show that movement and exercise is so important when it comes to getting out of pain. Strength training is also a really important aspect of getting out of pain because it builds muscle strength, it builds tissue resilience, it builds bone density. It just builds up your body in a way that it can tolerate way more things that you ask of it to do in your day and makes you a more robust human. But the key is find an entry point to exercise that feels good and that you can keep doing for a couple weeks and stay at that exact weight. You don't want to rush things too quickly. You want to take it easy and allow your body to acclimate to this new load. And if you want more information about that, I have a video that I'll put wherever the box pops up for you to go check that out. Okay, the second strategy is not to be afraid of your MRI results if you even decide to get one. Just remember overall that MRIs are bound to show some sort of deformity in your spine, but that does not mean that it hasn't just been there the whole time chilling and you only just found out about it now. And it also doesn't mean that that is the reason that you have the pain. They could be tons of other reasons why there's pain. Yes, it sometimes is the reason, but even if it is the reason, it's not the end all be all. It's not going to be like that forever, and lifting is not going to make it worse as long as you listen to your body while you're going through the process. And point number 3 is to use a progressive and personal approach to your strength training. If you're dealing with pain, you can't just pull a random workout off the internet and expect it to go super well. It's really important when you're dealing with pain to have some guidance, and here's how I work through that with my clients. First, we find the direction that feels good for your spine, whether that's bending forward, whether it's bending backwards. We find your directional preference, and we do a lot of work in that direction to start to calm things down. If you're curious about how that works, I have a full free ebook about it. I can link down below. Anyway, after we find the directional preference, we work with the lifts that are currently bothering you. We find a point of entry that is tolerable, that's not going to flare up your back, maybe a little bit of discomfort, but not pain. And we work there for a couple weeks, maybe even a month. It just depends how your body responds, and we honor that and work with that. And then from there, very key point, we progress. So the problem I see a lot of times in rehab is that people are in rehab limbo. They kind of got a couple exercises from their provider and they just do those forever and expect to get back to lifting heavy, but we need to start somewhere and then bridge the gap. So finding that entry point for exercise that I mentioned before, and then using your body's signals to progress it as tolerated, and that means making the weight heavier, increasing your range of motion, making the exercise more intense or more dynamic. These are all ways that you can make the exercise a little bit harder over time to create some adaptations. And notice this whole time, we're not just resting. Rest is fine in the beginning, but if you want to feel empowered, you want to feel strong, you want to get back to lifting heavy ass weight, this is the path to take to go from in pain to making gains again. So if you're struggling with low back pain, I just want to let you know that it is possible to get back to lifting again. You don't have to rest forever, and you can get back to training safely and getting stronger. If you want to learn more about how to start this journey safely, then like this video, subscribe to my channel. I drop a lot of tips and tricks about how to get back to lifting. And if you have questions of your own, then drop them down below and I'd love to help. And next up, I'm going to show you my 3 top beginner-friendly exercises for low back pain. Perfect for building that confidence to get back onto the bar again. So if you don't want to miss it, subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you. Bye.